Hello everyone. In today's lab, we are going to talk about the virtual switch which we are going to create, and this switch will be a standard switch, and you need to remember that you have to create this sort of a switch on each and every host if you are going to work with the virtual switch. So in order to make that, you are firstly going to see that what are the existing switches that we are having. So first of all, if you want to see, this is the VM network that we are having. So if we go here, you will be able to see that this switch is accessible, and there are two hosts that are using this particular switch. Okay, and there are different networks at this place. So you are able to see there is nothing other than this on this particular network. This is the D switch, that is virtual distributed switch. So we will be talking about that later on. So first of all, just let us create a vSwitch, that is a standard switch. You have to go to the host and right click on that, then click on add networking. Once you click there, you are having the virtual machine port group for a standard switch. So this will be creating a port group that is going to handle all the traffic on a standard switch. So while you are doing this for a standard switch, so see here is an existing vSwitch that is available. So we can also select this vSwitch, but currently we are going to work with the creation of a new vSwitch. So we can do that as well. So if you are going to use the existing switch at this point of time, so you can do that as well. So here just give it the name that why do we require this switch, like I'm using it for a label, just naming it as a label. Then click next. Here you are going to create a vSwitch 0 which is already there, so you are not going to make any sort of changes right now at this place. So if you go here, you will be able to see that there is no change at this place. But if we go into the configure tab, you will be able to see that we are having a switch at this place. Like go to the v switches, so you will be able to see that we are having a v standard switch at this place, which is v switch 0. And here we are having a label. Earlier it was vm network, so right now we have created a new label that is going to be named as label, and the VLAN ID is not there. We don't have a virtual machine on this, so it is currently connected with the physical network adapter, that is VMNIC 1000 full, means it is working on a full duplex. So we can also create a new switch like this. So if you want to edit something in this, or you want to add certain other functionalities, like if we are having a v standard switch already, if you want to add another adapter into it, we can simply go to the unclaimed adapters that are there and just move it down, and now it is going to be the part of a active adapter. Okay, so there are going to be two adapters right now. So you will be able to see this at this place, that earlier there is only a single network, now we are having two networks here. Now when we are having two physical network cards, so there are certain options which become enabled for us, which we can perform. So like we are having the properties like how many number of ports are there. In security we are having promiscuous mode, which means reject, that no one is able to read that messages which are flowing. Like if there is any MAC address changes, so we are going to reject any such sort of traffic. If there are any forced transmissions, we are going to reject it. If we accept this, it is going to be more or less security flaw. So we also have an option of traffic shaping. So you will be able to shape the traffic, that what is going to be the highest peak bandwidth which you want to allow, what is going to be the lower bandwidth, so you can just shape the traffic. Then we have another option, that is teaming and failover. This teaming and failover is actually we are having that two active adapters, so we can create a way that how we are going to load balance the entire traffic that is going to be over this like v standard switch. So we can actually select that. We can also have a failover order, like which if there is a failover or one of the system is not working, so how we are going to switch from one adapter to the another. So you can like always put up one of the adapter in the standby mode and the other adapter as active. So if something happens, so it will automatically switch that how it will be switching automatically, and you are not going to do anything in that. So there is a failover order as well, so you can simply use that directly at this place. So this is how it works, like if we are having an existing v switch. So this was what we have modified. Now if I disable these two, so you will be able to see that we are not going to have any standard switch. So let us just firstly check this and go to manage physical adapters. So now I'm just moving them to unclaimed adapters so that we can use both of them. So here we are having this VM network adapter. So we have to select one only at a time. Like this is the step VMNIC2. Once I do this, both of them are unclaimed, but it is going to create a issue that the vSwitch 0, which was there, it is having one virtual machine as well. So it is going to lose the connectivity. Now, if it loses the connectivity, there is a problem. We will not be able to use this adapter. So let us just try to remove this. Now, if we are having a virtual machine there, it is not going to do that. So let us just now create a new vSwitch. This is a default one which has already been there. So we are having that virtual machine at this place. If we want to shift this virtual machine, we will be able to perform that. So like we are having a virtual machine here, we can migrate it, and we will be able to like select a new place for it. But in the meantime, let us just concentrate right now on the next event that is there. So just let us shift it for a while. So we are going to shift it from this to ESXi region 01 distributed switch. So it is getting shifted, so it might take some time. And once it is done, in the meantime, if we are able to delete this, let us firstly check if there is a VM. It will not allow us to actually perform that task until it is there. Let us just check in the recent tasks. We can see that is it shifting or not. So it is just actually migrating the virtual machines. Once it is migrated, you are able to see that there is a zero virtual machine here. So let us try to delete this now. So now there is no, see, we are not having any sort of virtual switch at this place, right? So there is no virtual switch, standard switch, which is there. So we need to connect a new one. So what we can do is we are going at this place, just right click on the host and go to add networking. So we are going to create a virtual machine port group. Select next. We are going to create a new standard switch. The MTU is maximum transfer unit, which is going to be like 1500 by default. So we are going to keep it in order to let it work normally with the entire Ethernet framework which is over there. So we are going to make these adapters the active adapters. Okay, so we are going to just select the second one as well and simply move it to the active adapters. So now both of them are active adapters for the VM network one. And now here we can have a new, like I'm giving the name label which I had given earlier as well. So now we are going to add a VS switch 0. It is going to take the name automatically. You are not going to do anything in this. If we haven't have the V switch 0, it will automatically, if we already have it, it will make it V switch 1. If it is not there, it is automatically selecting it as V switch 0. So we are just creating a new V switch at this place. So you will be able to see that it is going to be visible at this place in a while. So now you are able to see that we are having the VM NIC at this place. Okay. So now after a while it is going to automatically accept this. So we are going to simply reset it to green. Now we are having the tiny Linux. So let us just try to migrate it into the same network from where we had picked it. Rest everything is going to be same. So here instead of this we are going to select the label. Okay, so currently there is some issue with the destination virtual switch. It is a type is legacy, so that is different from the minimum requirement. So currently it is not supporting that. There will be a issue right now because there is some like switch version which is not currently available. So we are just going to keep it at the place where it was earlier. So we are not shifting it right now. So this was the procedure how you can create a new virtual switch that is going to be a standard switch. So here it is, like you can verify it simply by going to virtual switch. If you want to add additional adapters, so you can do that as well. Like you can simply go on the additional adapters and add those adapters. So currently everything is configured properly, but the issue is with the version. So there is some issue with the version, so that is why it is not shifting the virtual machine. So now after this, let us just talk about the distributed switch. So if you want to create a distributed switch, you will not be able to work with the standard switch at that time. So you are going to create a single distributed switch that is going to be there, and that single switch will be able to handle each and everything. So you are going to be on the region level, then simply right click there and you are going to be able to see that there is an option of add network. So let me just open up that link. See here, there is a distributed switch. So you are going to click on new distributed switch. Here we are going to create a name that it is going to be a new distributed switch. New distributed will be fine. Now which version you want to support, like we are going to work with 8 version, so it is going to be fine. There was a issue if you remember, so we had already got a kind of a issue that there was a compatibility issue, so you need to select the correct one at this place. So how many number of uplinks do you want, like how many number of links do you want to actually connect with the physical network, so you can select that. Right now we are already having an existing distributed switch, so all the uplinks which are there, they are already been allocated. So I will not be able to like show you how to connect this with the actual world, but I will be able to create something for you so that you understand this. So you can create a default port group, or you can simply uncheck this option in order to create your own new port groups. So see here we are having new port group which is there, and we can add and manage the hosts after this. So let us just finish it and you will be able to see that we are having a new distributed group at this place. So here there is a view, there is a link for the uplinks which could be there. So now if you want to add a new port group, right click here. See, there is an option of distributed port group. Simply create a distributed port group here. The name is, I will be naming it as new port, and click next. So what sort of binding you want? You want ephemeral or you want the static binding? If you are selecting the static binding, Then you have to give all the ports, how the ports are going to be configured. If you want it to happen automatically, so you can select ephemeral. Now here you will be able to see that there is an existing distributed switch whose name is region A01 VDS comp, and there are different port groups. So these all port groups are created in order to handle a particular kind of a traffic. So right now, like this is for vMotion. It is only going to help the systems to move their virtual machines from one place to another. This is going to help in storage. This is going to help in uplinks. This is for the uplink. This is to store the virtual machines inside it. And ESXi is also doing the same thing. So you can configure them to actually do these certain tasks that are there. So this is a port group which is already there, so its name is given, so you are able to use it without any problems. So like here we have the uplinks that are there, so you are having ports available, so everything is at this place. So now let us try to move a virtual machine from one of the existing ESXi hosts, or you can say the VDS, to the newer VDS. Okay, so we have simply created this new port group. If you want to create another port group, you can simply go and add a new distributed port group at this place. If you want to manage the existing one, you can click on manage. Now if we want to add new hosts into this, so you can do that, but for that you would need to actually use either the existing hosts, or you are able to add a new host as well. So now here when you are going to work with it, so we are having vmnic0, vmnic1, vmnic2 and vmnic3. So these are all the ESXi hosts and their switches which are used. So we are having at this place ESXi2, there is no adapter assigned. So we are having all those. So we can assign a uplink with auto assign. So we can also assign the port groups at this place. So I'm just going to select the auto assign. So click next, add two hosts and how many physical adapters? Four. So we have accepted four physical adapters. Now you will be able to see there are two networks, so it is going to take some time. There are two hosts and eight ports. Okay, so now let us just simply try to transfer a virtual machine. Like from here, just go to migrate. Now change both compute and storage. Simply select the another host. We are going to work with one. Select next. Here you are going to select the storage. So storage we are not working on. So here, instead of selecting anything else, we are selecting the new port. So new port is something which we have just created. If you see this, we have just created that at this place. So new port was the new port group that we have just created. So once you are done with that, you will be able to see there is a virtual machine at this place. So just to summarize, so what we have done here was, first of all, we had created a new standard switch. That standard switch was named as label. So we simply created one. It has to be created on each and every host if you want to work with it. Whereas if you create a distributed switch, you can create a single distributed switch and it can work with all the hosts that are there. So we have created a new distributed switch which is new distributed, and there are uplinks. So we have created a single port group. You can have multiple port groups if you want. You can also assign a particular type of traffic which you want to be like running through it. So you can configure all those things as well. So you can also edit these settings. So everything whatsoever you want to do, you can do that. You are able to handle all the advanced features. If you want traffic shipping, if you want security, failing, team over, monitoring, and all the miscellaneous tasks, you can do all the stuff at this place in the vDistributed switch, and you need not to do it on each and every host. You can simply do this in a centralized manner. So that was all for today's